Hey guys, it's Riz, and oh my goodness, it has been a while. The semester just kind of started and I got super busy and I just haven't been able to film anything. I feel like if I'm not studying, then I'm working, and then the little bit of free time that I have, I just feel like, oh my goodness, I want to go out and I want to do something or play a game or something. So I've just been crazy busy. But today I'm actually here to give you guys kind of a first impression. This isn't a new product or anything like that, but it is one that I'm really excited about. So I got a package, and it is this. It is from INKBOX, and basically it is a temporary tattoo, and it is supposed to last up to 2 weeks. They sell all kinds of versions that are like stick-on tattoos. You like stick on and you press in, and then when you peel it off, it looks like it's not there, but then within 24 hours it'll develop, and then it looks like a tattoo, and then it'll stay. But the free ink boxes actually allow you to draw, and it comes with instructions. It comes with however much ink you buy. Kind of cute. Ink. I don't know if you guys can see. So 3 bottles, and it comes with a glove. I'll probably post a video later of doing some freehand ink and stuff, but for now I really wanted to try to see if I could make a sort of a stencil. So I'm going to try my chances with some sticky notes. I'm going to try to cut out a stencil, freehand some ink onto it, and peel it away, see how that all works. Alright, so I made a stencil. Alright, so I have my skin washed. I kind of drew a little bit of a guess of kind of what I want here. So what I'm supposed to do is I can just trace this and then draw it. Alright, so that took a while. I'm kind of scared that I pushed the ink around too much, and that some of it'll come out like half developed and some of it'll come out fully developed. But this is the drawing so far. It's wonky. It's on my wrist, so kind of when I move, it moves. So, but, I don't know. But I think it just goes to show you how things like this can be kind of a really big decision. I'm super indecisive with everything, and while I think the idea of tattoos are appealing, it's just something that I think I would have to take such a long time to think about and decide on, because I just feel like I would always find something that would bother me about it. And I probably will with this one too, especially since I'm the one trying to draw it on my own skin. However, we will kind of just wait and see. I'll show you guys when I wash it off, and you probably won't see anything, but after that we'll continue to update it, and I'll show you guys the final result. Alright, so here it is, and it's dry completely. So we're going to go ahead and wash it off with soap and water, and then there shouldn't really be any mark left. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I just got out of the shower, and I just wanted to show you guys that it's literally been maybe 15-30 minutes, and it's already starting to develop really well. I mean, it's pretty gray right now, but I can imagine already in like 12 hours. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty cool, I think. Hey guys, it's Riss. I am coming to check in. It's been probably about 2 weeks. I actually kind of redid this one. So now when you look at it, if it'll focus, you can see that the ink really isn't in a lot of the cracks of the skin. But it does wear pretty well. I liked the first one better, so this is my second one, but it's not terrible. I also did another one, just kind of here. And I've only really had this one for about 2, 3, maybe 4 days. But because at work I constantly scrub my hands, it's already rubbing off. So that can just kind of show you. There's also not as much it's kind of like, you can also see it's also kind of where my knuckle is, or where the bone is. So I think that maybe that skin is easier to exfoliate and it brushes off easier. And so maybe the stained skin comes off faster too. But it's doing all right. Also, we have all of this going on. So my sister came in this past weekend and I just kind of told her to go crazy with a bunch of designs that I liked. I feel like if I ever did really get a real tattoo, it would probably be in a style like this, but probably more spread out. But just things like this, you can actually see here, there was a bug guy here, but as the ink dried, it actually peeled off before it was ready, and so when it developed, it only half developed. The other ones stuck okay. These actually did amazing. These were actually some of the first ones, and they are the darkest. I actually just peeled these off and didn't wash them off when I slept, but because of that, I ended up having marks all the time. So if you don't wash it off really, really well, then it will stain your other skin. I had stains on my hands. I actually had a moon from where I guess I slept. And I had a moon kind of right here. So definitely important that after it dries and after it's been an hour to go ahead and I guess peel it off or whatever, but then to give it a really good wash and make sure all that skin is off. Otherwise when you sleep it might stain your skin. I had the same problem with the one here, is that it had completely stained this finger. You can't really tell now, it looks fine now, but I think it was just because after I peeled it off and I went to sleep, it was just kind of everywhere. So yeah, I had transfer here for when I had done like that, I guess, in my sleep, but it's all coming out now. You can see that this one kind of has scrubbed off, though I did kind of try to scrub that one off because it was very blurry. But some of the other ones look really good. Very cute little spaceship. The diamond looks really good. As far as it's dark, the pigment's really nice, the lines are really clean. Then I really love the little spaceship. I think he's cute. Of course I love Navi. Navi actually turned out great. She is really clean lines, really solid shape. I think my sister did a really, really good job on her. But yeah, so those were just kind of us playing around. And now I get to enjoy them for the next 2 weeks while she moves, and it'll be fun to kind of have these around to remind me of her and kind of her travels and stuff. I also gave her a few ones, so we'll be able to do that. Me and my siblings actually all got 3 little dots. I got mine here, and then I think my brother got some on his wrist. My other brother got one on his finger, and my sister did hers on the inside of her finger. So we all have kind of 3 dots because all of us have ourselves and then 3 siblings, so 3 dots. Nothing permanent, it's only gonna last like 2 weeks, but I thought it was kind of a fun notion while we were all together to be able to kind of have that and to be able to just carry each other with ourselves for the next 2 weeks or however long it takes for our skin to slough off and carry the ink with it. But yeah, I'll check back kind of in a few days and let you know how this kind of half sleeve is wearing, how my hand is wearing, how this is, and how the dots are. They're in different places, different textures of skin. So we'll kind of see how that is, and then I will probably go ahead and give my final thoughts and we can wrap this up. But so far I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun. I heard they actually released like a new bottle design, because this is the old bottle design. But I heard they released a new one, and I'm not sure what that means. I haven't actually seen it yet. But I would love to, at some point, I would love to be able to go ahead and get one of those and see if there's any differences. One thing that we do sometimes have trouble with is that the ink is kind of tacky. So when you're drawing with it, sometimes you pull out a line too much, or sometimes it just feels uneven. I've learned that you really do want to layer it kind of thick if you want it to be that really dark color. It'll dry down, but you really just, you cannot like touch it, you cannot smear it. I had pulled some of it off after it had dried. I pulled it off and I didn't just rinse it or anything, and the next morning all of my fingers were stained because of it. So you let it dry all the way down. They say about an hour. I kind of just leave it on until whenever, but it seems like it's pretty important to actually wash it completely off, wash it really thoroughly so it doesn't stain the rest of your skin. But yeah, like I said, I'll check back in a few days. Okay, so it's been about a week and a half since I got all of the drawings on me, and you can see they're still there for the most part. Some of them are getting quite faint, you can see, but for the most part they're staying. But I've also been really careful with them, so I'm trying not to scrub too much or anything like that. After I go to work tonight, I'll probably go ahead and just do regular scrubbing and see how much of them comes off. I noticed that with my other ones, when I would scrub them, they would come off so much faster. So I tried to be really careful with these, but I think since it's been about a week and a half, I'm gonna go ahead and scrub normally and do exfoliation and whatever I normally do in the shower, and then we will kind of see how much comes off after that. But for now, it's holding up all right. It is looking kind of pale, or kind of like dotty, I guess. You can kind of see like the imprints of my skin underneath it, or like maybe where the ink didn't like seep down quite as much as where maybe on the surface of my skin it did. So up close it's looking a little rough, but from a distance I still think it's pretty good. People still kind of ask me whether or not I got a tattoo or whether or not I just let a 3-year-old draw on me, so I guess we'll take that as a good sign for now. But anyway, I'll show you guys again after I go and wash off. And we're back. So I went and I exfoliated and scrubbed, and you can kind of tell where it's fading a whole lot, like in this area. But the back still seems to be going pretty strong. And I scrub all of it evenly, scrub it every day, but I really went on and exfoliated tonight. But yeah, so it's so weird because it's almost completely faded on the inside, but on the back side it's still, you can even see the difference between the two trees, or the two eyelashes even. That is just, it's so much darker here than say here. So that's kind of interesting. This one kind of held on, so I wonder if it's just because maybe if it brushes here, but this part's also super faded, and I didn't really do anything for that, so that's pretty interesting. But yes, that's about a week and a half, a little over a week and a half, and it's still really strong here. Don't even remember what that is, just a circle. But yeah, it's still really strong right here. This is probably the darkest, and then the lightest is completely faded right here. It's kind of sad, but maybe one day I'll just get real ones instead. But I probably wouldn't have them so Zeb style all in the same place. Hey guys, so as you can see, the tattoo is completely gone. Got some new skin, and yeah, so it actually, the kind of really dark places that were right here lasted almost probably almost 2.5 weeks. And then some of the other bits, like I had some dots here, kind of here, or like just areas that either I just exfoliated really well. Yeah, so for some areas like that, sometimes it lasts like a week and a half, or you'll see fading at like a week and a half, but it won't completely fade out until 2 weeks. If you're really careful with it and you don't exfoliate a ton, then it does tend to stay for 2 weeks. So things that I learned while I was doing this, it's really important, I've learned, that after you let it sit for an hour, or however long, I usually just let mine dry just completely, it's super important to make sure that you wash it. Wash it super, super well. There were a few of them where I would just kind of peel it off, kind of like henna, and then I would go to sleep or something and it would transfer. So I think it's really crucial that you make sure that you kind of wash it and give it just a really good, make sure there's no more of that ink or anything on your skin, otherwise it might transfer. Another thing is that if you put it in an area that moves, so like when I did the one on my wrist, if you're moving that area, there's a good chance you'll crease it, or once it starts drying that it'll fleck off. And then sometimes some of the edges that were flecking off weren't really staining as deeply, so just kind of be mindful of that. As for the product itself, the packaging is good. I've actually learned that since I started filming this, they've come out with a new bottle. But this one was okay. It's kind of, this little piece kind of got in the way, but you can remove it completely off of your bottle. So it's just kind of up to you. The product itself is a little bit tacky. So occasionally it's kind of like you are putting down and then dragging and then going back down to make those lines that you want. But for filling in, it's usually fine. Occasionally it felt like it was a little bit uneven, but usually either I could just shake it or kind of just mix it around with like the needle and it would be fine. For me, I couldn't do any fine handwriting on it. I'm not good at handwriting anyway, but I just had it would always be a little too thick. But when we were drawing straight lines, kind of with the lift and drag method, we were able to get some pretty fine lines and they did stay for a while. So overall, to get 3 of these for like 30 bucks and to just have a really good avenue to kind of play around and see what you like, or maybe just to have fun with your siblings, I guess. For me, it was really great. I really, really enjoyed this product, and once I use all of these up, I will more than likely consider getting the new bottle and seeing how that compares, because these were just a little bit hard, and when they start getting a little bit more empty, you're just putting a lot of pressure to get that product kind of smooth and out. So it wasn't bad. I do think there's a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to draw with it, but overall I really loved it. I really loved the experience. I really loved letting my sister just kind of go crazy and draw on my arm, and I loved seeing people's reactions to it. So for me, I would totally buy it again, and also if I get the chance, I would love to try out their pre-printed tattoos, because I'm sure what they have pre-printed is probably a lot better than what I can draw with this at the time. They also, I think, recently are either testing out or have released something that allows you to make your own, so your custom text, or maybe you can upload your own drawings. I haven't really played with it, but if that's a thing, I totally want to try that. I would love to get some of my friends that do graphic design or something to help me design something, or maybe get some of that finer text like I was talking about, or even go in, draw something on a drawing tablet and submit that to them and then get it back as a really precise tattoo rather than me trying to freehand it. But I think the freehanding is really great. I think you could probably mix the two of them and get a really unique custom tattoo for just about 1.5 to 2 weeks. I think it's just a lot of fun. So yeah, I would totally recommend this, and I mean, I'm sure I'm going to continue using these until they're empty, and then I'll probably consider a rebuy just because I'm having so much fun with it. Kind of a little note is that it does last a while. So for instance, like the tattoos that I let my sister draw on me weren't super, super professional. They were very kind of cartoony and Zev style. So yeah, I did have occasionally where people would look at me and just kind of be like, oh, why did you let this 3-year-old draw on you? And it doesn't bother me, but if that's something that you think you would be bothered by, then maybe put it somewhere where you can hide it with your clothing, or not, just go full on out and just put tattoos wherever. I think this is a great way to experiment with that and kind of see what you like and what you're willing to work with. So yeah, INKBOX, freehand ink. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so I love this, and I can't wait to see what all else they come out with. Anyway, that's it for my review. I hope you guys learned something or enjoyed it. If you guys have tried this before, or if you guys are really great at designing things with the freehand ink and have tips, go ahead and leave a comment below. I would love to see that. I would love to learn how to get better at this. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!